What are you at? It's Paul from Wicked Acorn. Another panic start. Oh man, I'll get this together yet. I had to redo the whole OBS setup, and that took way longer than it should have. Does anybody use ChatGPT? It is a great tool. And I'll tell you why it's a great tool because you can talk to it like a person. So I'm trying to reset OBS. That's the streaming software that I'm using here. So if I look up how to do what I want to do, it would take me months. So I just ask ChatGPT and it tells me, how do I reset this thing? You can't type that into a search engine, so you have to you have to read forever to find out the answer to things. So I don't know if you guys are here because uh, I clicked on the wrong one here earlier. So I hope you guys aren't over waiting on the other stream. Let's see. Well, hopefully you'll find me here soon. I'm here. Let's see if I go over to this other one. This one that I accidentally hit and started. Hmm, don't know. Well, somebody's joined us because I was having a. Hello, Darren. I'm glad you're here because you are really going to enjoy the song we're going to listen to tonight. It's Gracie Field's birthday. Um, I'm just trying to get this set up because I've had a lot of trouble with it recently. I was trying to reset something and it got all messed up, but I think we're back to normal now. So I'll just tell you about Gracie Fields because it's her birthday today. Darren, you're really going to like this song because you said your mother worked in some kind of munitions factory. And I think Astrax said his mother did as well. So it's Gracie Fields' birthday. Dame Gracie Fields, born Grace Stanfield, the 9th of January in 1898. And she was a British actress, singer, and comedian, a star of cinema and music hall. She was one of the top 10 film stars in Britain during the 1930s and was considered the highest paid film star in the world in 1937. Um, so in 1937, she was, 40 years old. That's a little old for a up and coming movie star, isn't it? Yes, it is the Thingamabob song. You're absolutely right. The other chat is still live, is it? Yeah, I accidentally turned on the wrong one. That was just a test stream, and I made the wrong one live, trying to upload a thumbnail. Another panic start tonight. Anyway, greetings, everybody. Um, yeah, so she was, in her well into her 40s during the war, and 1, 2, 3, 4 is in the other room. I hope she figures it out soon. I have no way to alert her. My mistake, 1, 2, 3, 4. Um, Yeah, I hit public on the wrong one. It was a test I was doing earlier to get going there. Hello, Richard Ainsworth. Yes, and the song we're going to listen to, Astrex knows it, um, and we'll listen to it in a second. She was born in Rochdale, um, so she was really big in the wartime era, the highest paid film star in 1937. So it's her birthday today. So I first came across her name when I was doing the video about the Pyramid Cinema up there, and I've seen her movies. Like growing up as a kid on TV, Saturday mornings, watching old black and white films with all those stars. There you are, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry about that. That was my mistake, my fault, not yours. Um, we're talking about Gracie Fields. It's her birthday today, and yeah, so I knew all these guys growing up, but I never really knew who they were. Uh, I'm sure they were much more part of your landscape, being a local lass, and like what's the other guy? The ukulele player guy. What was his name? Well, I've remembered it, but I'm not going to say it. See if you guys can remember it. Um, yeah, so I knew all these guys, like all those Abbott and Costello movies and uh, all those wartime films that we've talked about here before. So I knew all these people, but they weren't really on my radar. I didn't know them as people. They were just people in movies. Uh, so yeah, I've seen all these people, but they never really made a great impact on me, like Abbott and Costello, because they were funny, right? When you're a little kid. Snafu, yeah, Private Snafu. Remember him? Um, okay, I want to put the song on because everybody knows who Gracie Fields is here in this part of the world. But Darren, if you haven't heard this song before, you will totally, totally enjoy this. Just let me get going here. All right, there we go. All right, here we go. This is the funniest song I've heard this week for sure. Probably this month. Definitely this month. Uh, I think it's even funnier than the Chipmunk song. It's definitely funnier than the Chipmunk song.
I can't pretend to be a great celebrity, but still I'm quite important in my way. The job I have to do may not sound much to you, but all the same I'm very proud to say I'm the girl that makes the thing that drills the hole, that holds the ring, that drives the rod, that turns the knob, that works the thingamabob. I'm the girl that makes the thing that holds the oil, that oils the ring, that takes the shank, that moves the crank, that works the thingamabob. It's a ticklish sort of job, making a thing for a thingamabob, especially when you don't know what it's for. But it's the girl that makes the thing that drills the hole, that holds the ring, that makes the thingamabob, that makes the engines roar. And it's the girl that makes the thing that holds the oil, that oils the ring, that makes the thingamabob that's going to win the war. I'm not what you would call a heroine at all. I don't suppose you'd even know my name. But though I'll never boast of my important post, I'll strike a blow for freedom just the same. That works the thingamabob. That works the thingamabob. It's a ticklish sort of job, making a thing for a thingamabob, especially when you don't know what it's for. But it's the girl that makes the thing, that drills the hole, that holds the ring, that makes the thingamabob, that makes the engines roar. And it's the girl that makes the thing, that holds the oil, that oils the ring, that makes the thingamabob that's going to win the war. It isn't all.
Isn't that fantastic? I've never heard that before in my life.
Seeking daily energy savings with Nick.
Fantastic. I really enjoyed finding that last night. And I mean, how many of these people working in these places? Yes, they were sadly forgotten after the war. Uh, I'll have to check into that and see what advert that was. That sounds interesting. Um, I don't watch many adverts these days. Not like it used to be. Adverts were a real thing growing up watching TV, wasn't it? They were really a thing. I'd like to buy the world a Coke. Remember that? I mean, that became a number one song. Uh, on the charts, they changed the words, of course. It wasn't buy a Coke, it's teach the world to sing. And I'm sure you guys had different ones, but I can remember a whole slew of us in a row, like a what do you call that thing where you hold on to the person in front of you, hold on their hips? That what's that dance called? Rumba or something? Cha cha line. You know what I'm talking about? A whole line of kids going around doing the A&W root beer song. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. I don't know if you guys had that one. But we used to do silly stuff like that. Adverts were really a big part of our lives. Um, but yeah, the women were forgotten, weren't they? They were really forgotten after the war and kicked out of the job so the man could get it when he came back from the war. What can you do? But it was a big part of women's liberation so they could actually have jobs and um, you won't give it to see propaganda. I don't watch TV at all these days. I don't watch it at all. Everything I watch is online nowadays. Uh, Root beer is not a thing. Interesting. I like root beer. Root beer is a good drink. Um, I don't drink that stuff very often, but um, yeah, I could go for a root beer now. Um, A&W root beer, and there was I mentioned it before, talking about we had a Coke plant just in our neighborhood, and they had a brand of soft drinks or pop or fizzy drinks, whatever you want to call them, called Keep Cool, and it had a seal on it, like the animal, a seal. Um, the New Seekers, is that the same as the Seekers? Because that's funny that the song that came on after, um, oh, it's changed now. It's The Last Waltz by the band, but a song by the Seekers came on after I listened to the thingamabob before I went live here, and it was a song by the Seekers. Uh, you know, the one, there's a new world, na, 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 I'll never find another you. That song? Sarsaparilla, I'm not really familiar with that one. You guys have a lot of different drinks than we have. You'd know root beer is sarsaparilla. Okay. I remember hearing, I think it was Yosemite Sam, wasn't it? Yosemite Sam that liked the sarsaparilla. I think it was Yosemite Sam. Maybe he was British. Was Yosemite Sam British? He didn't have a British accent. Uh, the Seekers, the new Seekers, was that the same bunch? Let's find out. New Seekers. No, it's a different group. Oh, that guy's the same though. Keith Potger. Because she left the band. She died recently, the lead singer. Yes, they redid it. Yeah, I'd like to teach the world. Um, yeah, she left the group, didn't she? And you won't find another fool like me. Yeah, this guy, he was in the Seekers, and there's the Seekers there. That's the group I'm thinking of. The I'll never find another you group. Uh, they had another big hit too. Kumbaya. Georgie Girl. That was their big hit, I guess. That's really blast from the past, isn't it? Um, so that's about all I had. There's a little movie here. I'll give you a look at little Gracie Fields from this movie here. This is a weird movie. This whole movie is on YouTube. It's called Holy Matrimony, 1943. Um, it's it's very weird. I haven't watched it, but I zoomed through it, and there's some weird stuff. Um,
Size, sir. Of course, if you don't know your own size, sir.
Oh, yes. This is my size, all right. 7.5.
Oh, well, in that case...
Mr. Leek doesn't like this size. He doesn't like this style. He doesn't like this color. He doesn't like this hat. Now, will you get out some others, please?
Why, certainly, madam.
I don't know what this movie's about. I think this guy, the guy there, is like some kind of royalty or gentry or something, and he fakes his own death or something. I don't know, but there's this big thing at the end of it about the moles, and they're searching for the moles on his body. Very strange. Again, I have no idea what it's about. 2-1, no moles, London. So I guess the moles identify him as a as this long lost royalty guy or something. Anyway, this was a test of the new OBS setup because I was screwing around with it and I messed it up and it stopped working properly, but it seems to be working okay there. I'm just going to put something on here. Let's see. I can't put the band on. I'll put on a bit of the cinema one just to see if we're working okay. And that was probably the first time I came across her name. Adverts. There we go. All right, let's have a look at this and see if this is going to work. I've only got the one camera going here tonight. When Rick was here, I was having real trouble playing video, but I think I've got it sorted out now because the CPU is really quite low compared to what it was when it was not working. So it should be working. No drop frames. So I think we've got it back to normal. Back in 1934, it took nearly 19,000 signatures to make the opening of this place a reality. Fast forward to 1980, many individuals involved in saving it from the wrecking ball. Thanks to the efforts of those remarkable people, the Pyramid Cinema now proudly holds a Grade 2 listing and boasts this magnificent new facade. Hopefully we can rest assured that this iconic architectural gem in Sale is no longer in danger. I'm here with Catherine McGuire, and she is the
General Manager of Everlasting in Sale.
And you had a bit of a part in the restorations to the front of the building?
Yes, so what we did was we worked with the landlords to bring up the front of the building to a high spec standard now. So it's all been renovated. They've done quite a bit of the foyer area and obviously the front to bring it all back up to what it is now. Is beautiful.
Oh, it looks absolutely gorgeous. It's a real showpiece. The building is quite the centerpiece of Sale here, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's a big part of Washway Road and obviously the history of it. And
okay, that's your fault, Darren. Let me turn this off. I forgot to turn this off. Is that hooked up? Let's see if that makes any difference. No, it's not working at all there now. It is not working at all. That may be because I had to start it from the beginning. Ethernet is connected. Nope, not working. Let's go back here for a moment. Now let's try it from there. Just take a look at this stunningly restored facade. It looks a lot better than our last visit here. Back in 1934, it took nearly 19,000 signatures to make the opening of this place a reality. Fast forward to 1985, and there were probably just as many individuals involved in saving it from the wrecking ball. Thanks to the efforts of those remarkable people, the Pyramid Cinema now proudly holds a Grade 2 listing and boasts this magnificent new facade. Hopefully we can rest assured that this iconic architectural gem in Sale is no longer in danger. I'm here with Catherine McGuire, and she is the
General Manager of Everlasting in Sale.
And you had a bit of a part in the restorations to the front of the building?
Yes, so what we did was we worked with the landlords to bring up the front of the building to a high spec standard now. So it's all been renovated. They've done quite a bit of the foyer area, and obviously the front to bring it all back up to what it is now is beautiful.
Oh, it looks absolutely gorgeous. It's a So I'm going to let this play out, and just to see if we're working as we should be. Just got to get through the advert here. Commercials, as we call them.
To what it is now is beautiful.
Oh, it looks absolutely gorgeous. It's a real showpiece, because this building is quite the centerpiece of Sale here, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's a big part of Washway Road, and obviously of it, and we've been obviously we're Everlasting's now. We've got our pool, sauna, steam room, and everything in there. It's beautiful, but we still tried to keep the sort of the ambience of the club to the fact that we still got this big screen. We've still kept all the decor and everything, but we've created this fantastic gym.
Yeah, the interior is fantastic as well. Catherine, thank you so much for telling us a little bit about it. Turn the knob that causes the vessel to fill the water with that makes the beverage. Indeed. Yeah, that was, I'm sure you guys are well familiar with this place. So I'm just going to play with this for a bit. You're welcome to stay if you've not seen this video before.
No problem, thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
Built during the challenging times of the Great Depression, this magnificent structure stood as a symbol of hope and resilience. It must have instilled a sense of pride and joy within the community. Despite the hardships they faced, the Pyramid Cinema became a beacon of optimism. It offered an escape from the harsh realities of life and brought people together in shared experiences of laughter, tears, and entertainment. Its presence in Sale undoubtedly uplifted spirits. Long lost cave and cave markings. I don't think that is one of my videos, Darren. I think you got me confused with someone else there. No, I haven't done any video about cave markings. I'd love to do a video about cave markings. I was looking at a cave somewhere to the west of us. I can't remember, between here and Liverpool somewhere. Can't remember the name of the place, but I bookmarked it to go take a look at. Oh, the cave with the markings. Maybe you're talking about the Odin's Den. Is that what you're thinking of? In Salford? That might be what you're thinking of. Yes, I think that's what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, that's that one is called yeah, that's the one. Guy Fawkes, Did Guy Fawkes Do It? Is the name of that video.
fostered a sense of unity among its residents. Let's take a look back at the history of the Pyramid Cinema. If you remember this place as anything other than the crumbling facade that it is today, you probably remember it as the Odeon or the Tatton Cinema. It was a nightclub in the 90s. Now it's Sports Direct round the back. But it first opened its doors as the Pyramid Cinema 88 years ago today. This was in the wake of the First World War and the Great Depression. By the end of 1930, unemployment had more than doubled. Many families had to depend on the dole. But an unusual thing was happening in England in the 30s. Despite the Depression, there was a construction boom. Along with the Pyramid Cinema, most of the homes we live in today in Sale were built during this period. Almost 3 million homes were built in this short period of time due to government aid and subsidies. Perhaps it was a means to combat unemployment and to stimulate the economy. Even before construction began, there was heavy opposition to this new cinema. The Palace, Savoy, and Regal cinemas joined ranks against this new competition.
So that's funny. I didn't know that ranks was a thing when I was making that video. When I was researching that video, it said that the cinemas joined ranks, and I thought it meant like a United Front joined ranks. I didn't know ranks was like a cinema thing. I can't think of a North American version. I can't. There is a name on it, but I can't remember the name of it. All the different cinemas. Oh, that's driving me mad now. The name of them. Empire, I think they're called Empire. Empire Cinemas. I think that's the one in Canada. Can't remember. I don't know why that sound comes and goes.
Savoy and Regal cinemas joined ranks against this new competition. Eventually, a local committee, which included the Vicar of St. Paul's, organized a huge demonstration of about 4,000 people at the Pyramid. The protest meeting.
That was before I had that fluffy thing on the microphone, back in the early days of my YouTube world, just using the phone. Wind is so terrible. It ruins the sound so bad. Really, really ruins the sound.
Along with 19,000 signatures in favor of the new cinema, swayed the local magistrates. It opened to great fanfare February 1934 with a stage show and its first film, My Lips Betray, starring.
So that's not AI what we're watching there. I can't remember how I created that, but it kind of is AI. I mean, all this editing stuff is kind of artificial intelligence, but not really. And like I was saying at the beginning, using ChatGPT to help me navigate making OBS work properly. If anybody thinks that AI is going to take over the world and ChatGPT is what they're basing that on, we have no worries. We have no worries whatsoever, because it is the stupidest intelligence I've ever come across. But it lies. It lies. Don't trust it at all. You cannot trust anything it says. But this, it's a neat little thing I did. I can't remember how I did it now because it was a few years ago. But the searchlights going back and forth there, it's just over a still picture, so it makes it look more interesting, right? And that's an interesting thing like I was talking about the history video people. Some people get really upset when you alter historical photos, and it's like cheating somehow or misrepresentation. And it probably is. There probably weren't searchlights going back and forth at the grand opening of the Pyramid Cinema, but hey, I I think it looks good.
Swayed the local magistrates. It opened to great fanfare February 1934 with a stage show and its first film, My Lips Betray, starring Lillian Harvey and John Bowles. Cinema was the most popular form of entertainment in the 1930s and 40s. It became a place for young people to meet. Children could watch action-packed matinees, and adults could briefly escape the reality of the Depression. By the middle of the 1930s, some 18 million people...
Oh, is that Rank, the guy striking the gong? Yeah, I know that. I remember I've seen that a million times at the beginning of movies, or was it at the beginning or the end? It's at the beginning, wasn't it? I remember our little cinema. We call them theaters, even though they're not for live performance. We call it a theater. A cinema and a theater are kind of synonymous to most people in North America. Yeah, we had a little cinema, and it was called Wayville Theater, I think, Wayville. And it seemed huge when I was a kid, but apparently it was really small. It closed down in the 70s. And yeah, the sound is added to the lion as well, the MGM lion. That's not the actual sound. I think it's not even a lion, if I recall correctly, the MGM lion. But yeah, going to the cinema was such a magic thing, and I can remember that guy hitting the gong, yeah. Like a muscular, oiled kind of guy in just underwear kind of thing, like a loincloth or something, maybe like a Tarzan kind of guy. Something like that. Long time since I've seen that.
A week went to the cinema in Britain. It was the golden age of Hollywood. But there was also homegrown entertainment. Gracie Fields or Jesse Matthew musicals, the latest George Formby or Jack Hulbert.
Jesse Matthews, I don't know that name. I'll have to look him up, because nobody came up with the name George Formby. That's the other guy I was thinking of, because I remember watching all his movies as well. Anyway, I think somebody's coming in the door.
Or you could take in an Alfred Hitchcock thriller or Alexander Korda epic. The Pyramid was by far the most elaborate cinema in the area. The facade, although not particularly Egyptian in overall design, has various Egyptian-style moldings and fluted pillars. It does have echoes of the Temple of Luxor. Inside, the Egyptian theme was again largely moldings and finishes, like Grauman's Egyptian Theater in Hollywood. The building included a first-floor cafe, advertised as the rendezvous for discerning folk. A large car park provided ample parking spaces for those lucky enough to own a car. And flanking the cinema, 2 rows of shops were built in a style that harmonized with the nearby post office. It was around this time the newsreel came into its own. The addition of sound brought the events of the day closer to home, and the thing that everybody wanted to know was what that funny-looking man in Germany would get up to next. That silly little man in Germany turned out to be quite a nuisance. Christmas 1940, Sale was a casualty of the Manchester or Christmas Blitz, and the Pyramid was nearly lost during one of these raids. Incendiary bombs penetrated the roof and caused several fires. There were many other casualties, including the town hall.
So the person who, her father was the one that apparently there was a hatch that led up to the roof, the actual roof, like outside on the roof. He, I've got it recorded somewhere. The information she sent me, um, some kind of dicey hatch you had to get up through to get on the roof, and one of the incendiary bombs fell on the roof of the cinema, and he had to go up and remove it. The fire department, the fire service guys wouldn't do it. So the guy, he was a cinema employee. I can't remember his name right now. Forgive me. Um, Went up on the roof and got rid of the incendiary bomb somehow. Incendiary, is that right? Um, yeah, there's I love cinema, love films. Um, yeah, I'm great fun to watch a movie with, uh, even if it's a really bad movie. Uh, but the better the movie, the less I will say. But if it's a bad movie, I'll have lots to say about it. It's funny watching movies where, you know, the walls move, and that's an extreme version, but yeah, seeing little mistakes. It's uh, it's interesting working in film. I had a nightmare one time. I had a nightmare. I was working on a film, and I remember going to see, in the dream, I went to see the premiere of the movie, and there was a big piece of tape, like painter's masking tape, hanging down from the ceiling in the middle of the shot. And I was like, oh my God, how could they not know that? And how come I missed that? How come we didn't? Anyway, it was only a dream. Anyway, it's working. I think it's the audio and video are out of sync though, and I think that's because I've changed the way it's coming in live as opposed to before I started.
But thanks to an auxiliary fire service pump, the pyramid was saved. But the pyramid, or the Odeon, was not just a place to see movies. There were
50% of profits donated. Now that's
Oh, the drill that builds the hole that drills the thing. That's a great song, isn't it? Because how many of those people were working on making things? They had no idea what they were making. All they knew is they were making part number 4. They had no idea what they were making. Just some part for a thing. That's going to win the war.
But the pyramid, or the Odeon, was not just a place to see movies. There were many plays and variety performances, and the specially designed movable Christie organ console was often a main player at these events. The organ lives on. It was purchased by the Lancastrian Theatre Organ Trust in the early 1980s and installed in the Blue Coat School in Oldham, where it was used for regular concerts until 2008. The organ is now in storage awaiting a new venue for installation.
So that's the organ there. It's in St. Mary's Church, St. Mary's Low House, St. Helens, which I found the photo just as I was releasing the video. So that's where it is nowadays. Is that what it means? Oscar Deutsch entertains our nation? Is that what it means? Or is that just what people said it meant?
Having a full working stage was a bonus. One pantomime included a full-size coach with real ponies for a production of Cinderella. One amusing story, at least in hindsight, was the great Carmo and his disappearing lion. The poor animal, restricted to the false bottom of its cage, decided to answer nature's call and relieve itself. Arthur Cass, whose normal duties included using a perfumed spray along the aisles and passages twice nightly, had to spray the affected areas speedily with a stronger mixture and more generously than usual. If you've ever experienced cat spray, you can probably appreciate what a full-size lion must have contributed to the performance. The Pyramid changed hands and became an Odeon Cinema in 1942. It continued to be a place where the town could get together and celebrate. It carried on successfully throughout the 1940s, but it met challenging times during the 1950s as cinema audiences fell away, mainly due to the strong competition of television. In 1981, the cinema was rebranded the Tatton. This was a short-lived venture due to escalating running costs. For a while, the building was closed, and in July of 1985, a deal was struck with Trafford Borough, who bought the Odeon for £200,000. The intention was to demolish it for redevelopment. Locals started a campaign to prevent it, and in November 1987, the building was given a Grade 2 listing. Within a short period of time, escalating costs forced the council to put it on the market. Work commenced by the new owners to turn the building into a nightclub known as JFK's and the Liberty Discotheque. Major alterations took place during 2001 when the franchise LA Fitness Center took over the premises. Another change of ownership took place in 2013 when Sports Direct Fitness Club opened. It's seen better days, but at least the building is still in use. It holds a prominent place in Sale. Under that peeling paint, there's still a beautiful building. Maybe the renewed interest in the new Stanley Square will spread, and buildings like this will take their proper place in the landscape of Sale.
Hi, it's Paul from Wicked Acorn. So it seems to be I am getting dropped frames here. Oh well. I'm hoping it's because I started it after I changed the method that it was going from one computer to the other. Well, there you go. That's it. Have you guys seen the video about have you guys seen this video? It's so this video, it's starting with an advert, so I just got to wait for that to get through. The Ashneepon-Mersey Buffalo Bill video, that is tomorrow's video, because I haven't been able to get out to shoot anything. But I like to put these things out on anniversaries, and this one is, tomorrow is the anniversary of Buffalo Bill Cody's death, and I'd rather do it on his birthday, but I have another one for his birthday, and I don't have one for tomorrow. So I'm putting this out on his death day. Anyway, this is tomorrow's video. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but just to let you know what's happening tomorrow, just to see if this is going to play any better.
We've been hanging around here in Ashton upon Mersey, working on that story I promised you. Mark from Aztec Drones kindly shot this stunning footage of St. Martin's Church for us. As I was watching it, I remembered another story, one you wouldn't expect to hear in a place like this. Buffalo Bill Cody? Now that's a name you wouldn't associate with an English churchyard. He was one of the most famous and well-known figures of the Wild West. Legend has it, Buffalo Bill Cody was here in 1888, and showman that he was, he put a bullet through the weather vane atop St. Martin's brand new tower. Now, even a half-blind vicar could probably make a shot like that, but Buffalo Bill did something far more remarkable. He supposedly back on over his shoulder using a mirror. It was a stunt made famous by his friend Annie Oakley. What an odd story. It's a strange tale to be passed down through the generations. But the intriguing part is, years later, when the weather vane was taken down for restoration, there was a bullet hole. Now that might not sound so remarkable to an American. I mean, most weather vanes have bullet holes, don't they? But this is England. Even the police don't carry guns here. So why would I expect you to believe such a tale? How could it possibly be true? What was Buffalo Bill Cody doing in an English churchyard in Ashton upon Mersey? Well, as it turns out, there's something that makes this story more than just possible.
Well, there you go. That's tomorrow's video. If you haven't seen it, there's a little teaser. And people are home, so it's time for me to go make the donuts. See, that is an expression which I'm sure you guys have never heard before, because it's well, Tim Hortons has made an appearance in the UK. They had one there in the square in Sale for a little while, and there was one in Altrincham. And Tim Hortons is like a Canadian icon. I can't even think of a comparison here. But Tim Hortons, it's a coffee and donut place, and it didn't catch on here at all. It's the Canadian version of Starbucks, for lack of a better way to describe it. And talking about adverts, that was a Tim Hortons advert, and it's a Canadian saying, "It's time to make the donuts," and it was a commercial. Greg's, yeah, maybe Greg's. There you go. You go make that cheesecake. I'm signing off myself. I got to go make what I call supper. You guys call it tea, I guess. But Tim Hortons, you like the Tim Hortons? Did you 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah, I like Tim Hortons. I brought a friend of mine there, and she didn't like it at all. It's very sweet. It's a sickly sweet kind of like North American donuts are very different than the donuts you get here. Anyway, it's all what you're used to, what you grew up with, and what you're used to. But yeah, there was an advert, Greg's versus Tim Hortons. No, Greg's is kind of like a British institution. Like, everybody in this country knows what Greg's is, and yeah, people talk about it. You know, there's a love-hate relationship with Greg's. Everybody knows Greg's, and everybody either loves it or hates it, and they're passionate about it in one way or another. And so is Tim Hortons. But there was an advert, this guy, and he was the guy. He was the Tim Hortons guy, the actor. He was the Tim Hortons guy. And, you know, he wakes up It's time to make the donuts, and it's just this thing, him going around getting ready to go start work. It's time to make the donuts. So that's a Canadian saying. It's time to make the donuts. So, you know, whenever there's some task to perform, it's time to make the donuts, you'll hear Canadians say. So there you go. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. And thanks for dropping by. This is still not working 100%, so there'll probably be another live stream before we get back into our regular routine here. I got to figure out what's going wrong here. Hopefully it's just because the CPU is quite low, but I've got dropped frames. Hollywood. There's a Tim Hortons in Hollywood. I'm not surprised. They're worldwide, but it's a Canadian institution. Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons was a hockey player. He was a famous hockey player, and I think his wife started the donut and coffee business. Anyway, thanks a lot. We'll see you in the next one.